Imagine fighting in a brutal war for 10 years, surviving against impossible odds, only to discover that getting home would become an even greater battle. This is the story of the Odyssey, an epic tale of courage, intelligence, sacrifice, and survival that has captivated audiences for nearly 3,000 years. Filled with mythical creatures, powerful gods, deadly temptations, and unforgettable adventures, it remains one of the greatest stories ever written. But what makes the Odyssey so timeless? Let's begin the journey. Written by the legendary Greek poet Homer around the 8th century BC, the Odyssey tells the story of Odysseus, the clever king of Ithaca. After helping the Greeks win the Trojan War, most famously through the ingenious Trojan horse, Odysseus believes his long struggle is finally over. His wife Penelope and his young son Telemachus have spent years waiting for his return. But the gods have other plans. What should have been a simple voyage home becomes a 20-year journey filled with danger, loss, and impossible choices. One of Odysseus's most famous encounters is with Polyphemus, a gigantic one-eyed Cyclops. Trapped inside the monster's cave while members of his crew are eaten alive, Odysseus doesn't rely on brute strength. Instead, he uses his greatest weapon, his mind. He tricks the Cyclops by saying his name is Nobody. After getting the giant drunk, Odysseus and his men blind him with a sharpened wooden stake. As the Cyclops screams for help, he cries out that nobody is attacking me. The other Cyclops dismiss his cries, allowing Odysseus and his crew to escape beneath the bellies of giant sheep. But just as freedom seems certain, Odysseus makes one fatal mistake. His pride gets the better of him, and he reveals his real name. Enraged, Polyphemus calls upon his father, the mighty god of the sea, Poseidon, to curse Odysseus forever. Everything changes. From that moment on, Poseidon relentlessly hunts Odysseus across the seas. Massive storms tear his ships apart, towering waves swallow entire crews. Every mile toward home is earned through suffering. The dangers never end. The sirens sing with voices so beautiful that no sailor can resist them. Their haunting melodies promise knowledge, peace, and happiness, but every promise leads only to death. Knowing the danger, Odysseus orders his crew to fill their ears with beeswax while they tie him tightly to the mast. As the voices grow louder, he begs to be released. His crew refuses. Their obedience saves his life. Shortly afterward comes another impossible decision. On one side waits Scylla, a terrifying six-headed monster. On the other lies Charybdis, a monstrous whirlpool capable of swallowing an entire ship. There is no perfect choice. To save the many, Odysseus sacrifices a few of his men, a decision that will haunt him forever. After years of suffering, Odysseus washes ashore on the island of the beautiful nymph Calypso. She offers him something no mortal has ever possessed: immortality, eternal youth, a life without pain. For many, it would be impossible to refuse. Yet Odysseus chooses something greater. He chooses home, not because it is easy, but because it is where his heart belongs. 20 years after leaving for war, Odysseus finally returns to Ithaca, but he is no longer recognized. Disguised as an old beggar, he secretly walks through his own palace. Greedy nobles feast at his tables, they consume his wealth, they compete for the hand of his faithful wife Penelope. Patiently, Odysseus waits. Then comes the ultimate test. Only the true king can string the legendary bow. The room falls silent. The bow bends. The string snaps into place. In that single moment, everyone realizes the truth. Their king has returned. Odysseus defeats the suitors, reclaims his kingdom, and embraces the family he fought 20 years to see again. Nearly 3,000 years later, the Odyssey continues to inspire books, films, and countless stories around the world. Its message remains timeless. Heroes are not remembered because they never fall. They are remembered because they always rise again. Because true greatness isn't measured by strength alone. It is measured by resilience, by wisdom, by perseverance, and by the courage to keep moving forward, no matter how impossible the journey may seem. Because sometimes the greatest adventure isn't defeating monsters, it's finding your way home.